Alright, some time has passed. Obviously I didn't make it to the car show. I also didn't make it to the music festival that I wanted to take it camping to. It's been 2-3 weeks since I last filmed. Life has kind of just gotten in the way. But we're back at it today. Between now and then, however, I took it on another test drive, replaced the clutch master cylinder twice, and determined that it was bad. And I've also determined that the slave cylinder inside the transmission is bad. You can see in the driving clips that I'll put up that I was leaking clutch fluid every time I hit the pedal to shift. So that means transmission has to come back out, obviously. I have all the parts already. Like I said, it's been a little while. So my goal right now is to get the transmission ready to pull by this next weekend. Because Forrest is coming back up, he's going to help me yank it out real quick, throw the new hydraulics in, and then slap it back together, and hopefully then we'll be good. In the meantime, I'm putting a quote-unquote new radiator in it because the one had a leak and it was just perpetually dripping out from underneath the truck. I also put a new set of spark plugs in it. And I realized that the Champion set I had in them, at least one of them did not have the graphite rod inside of it, so it just wasn't firing. I'm guessing the mass air system helped hide that fact, but I bet that was a lot of my problem for why this thing would not haul itself up a hill. So yeah, we're just throwing the last little bits at the front end now, and then I'll crawl back underneath and get this transmission ready to pull back out. This is absolutely a junkyard radiator, but we do not care. I did fill it with water and it did not seem to leak. We shall see what happens under pressure. But it's the exact same one that was in it pretty much, so I'm not expecting much of a difference, but it goes right into place as it should. Already got all the fans switched over, and now it's just getting all the hoses hooked up, which should be fairly easy now. I also went and got rid of the stabby transmission lines left over from when this thing was an automatic, and that should hopefully make our lives a little better when it comes to servicing this thing, because nobody likes being stabbed. I mean, some people do, but I'm not one of them. So, in my infinite wisdom, I made one side of 13 and one side of 10, you know, for theft proofing. Nobody can do it quickly. Just like that, radiator's in. All right, we are back. You joined me on a very miserable rainy day here in Virginia. Forrest is coming tomorrow, which means I have to have this trans ready to pull. So, not wanting to lay on the ground at the moment, I'm gonna crawl inside the cab, take the floor pan out, fight all the butyl rubber I put in a year ago, and basically make it easier to maneuver while it's down in there. I got the transfer case pulled the other day. It tried to kill me, fell on my face pretty much. I'm fine, thanks for asking. So yeah, I'm going to start cleaning out the cab, and I don't want to remove the bench seat, but I will have to, and basically just pull the carpet back and get all of the bolts out for this trans plate. And then I have another one right here, already painted. We're gonna slap this one in instead. It's in better shape than the one that's in there, because I last time I had to pull the trans with the engine in it, I mutilated it because I didn't want to remove it and it got bent up. So replace that, and yeah, we will just take this slowly. I probably won't film most of this. It's not very interesting, and it's going to be a whole lot of me struggling with this carpet. But yeah, Forrest will be here tomorrow, and hopefully we're driving it tomorrow as well. Everything should go back together pretty easily once we get the slave cylinder in. I'm only thinking maybe a couple hours. I'm also going to finish fabbing up the exhaust today. I'll bring you along with that. When I say that it is beat up, I mean we absolutely destroyed it trying to jam the transmission out of it last time. So all those sharp edges is why we're replacing it. Also, this is still collecting moisture. It doesn't show up well on camera, but there's a puddle under here and the carpet is wet. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but there's a pool here, so I have to imagine it's coming down here somewhere. But we resealed this entire AC box, and I'm not seeing any visible leaks. So my thought is either it's the windshield leaking or demons. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that right now. I really want to say I don't care, but it's going to make this carpet mold out. Granted, I got the carpet for free, but I'd rather not have that problem. But yeah, I'm going to just start working this all out, and I'll come back when I've finally fought it. All right, we got that pried off. You can see Ford really shoves that transmission in there. There's not much room to move around, so this should hopefully make it easier to slide it back, get the new hydraulics in, and then put it back forward. And you can see here we mangled just how bad that plate is. So the shiny new one will be a welcome addition. Not that it serves all that much functionality, but I might actually be able to bolt the shifter down in place now. But yeah, I'm going to just start taking the bolts out of this and getting it ready to pull, and then we will start with the welding process after that for the new exhaust. So I made a unfortunate discovery. It's not the bolt that needed sealant, because that's not leaking. It's the one over here next to it is also leaking. So I guess that hit a water jacket as well. So I'm going to throw some thread sealant on that as well and hope it holds. Alrighty, I'm getting the rest of this exhaust fabbed up now. I just have to throw that tip on, and I have to wait for Forrest to get his pipe expander down here so I can get that sleeve in. But then otherwise, 1-2 welds under there, and then 2 welds underneath the truck, and we should be good to go. I'm gonna have these 2 clamped into place so they're easily removable, and yeah. Alrighty, we are just getting started today. Forrest is here, stripping out the master cylinder. Trans is ready to pull, so we're gonna just throw everything together. It should be a fairly quick process. We are here bench bleeding the clutch master, making sure that all the air bubbles are out of it. We have the end zip tied off here to keep it down and secure. So we're just running through the last couple steps of this, and then it will go on the truck.
I just got to get it down to where it's past the floor pan, and we'll be good.
I'm lowering this with you.
Perfect. That's textbook right there. Yeah, this new exhaust makes it a lot easier.
Imagine the right parts for the right truck.
I think that's what we fought so much before, is the Y pipe.
It was getting caught on it, yeah.
Can we go back a little bit?
We should be able to.
Yep, just like that. We'll be able to change it right in there.
Sweet. Cool, and I can slip that thing up here too, I think.
And no near-death experiences like the time we did it in my driveway.
Well, your driveway is also like gravel light.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Okay. Why isn't that just slipping off?
It's bolted.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just a slip fit.
No, it's like 3 10mm bolts.
I see 2.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been so long since... I told myself after the Ranger I'd never own something with this design ever again.
Funny, I don't see any leaks in there like I thought it was leaking.
I wonder if it was that O-ring. Or the O-ring where it meets the...
I mean, it's possible. Something wasn't working right, and it was dripping fluid.
Yeah. Those O-rings are massively problematic.
And if I'm not seeing any thread locker there.
Well, yeah, this thing's screwed. If it had fluid pressure in it, I shouldn't be able to compress it by hand. Well, that one's empty. This one is also empty.
I mean, it did drain when I took the...
Is the bleeder still open?
No.
Okay,
I mean, it did drain when I... Oh! Look in there, there's a crack.
Whoa! Brother.
I don't think it's supposed to have a crack. Nope.
Nope. Okay, well, let's see.
That explains that.
That explains a lot.
So yeah, it was just leaking out of there then.
Yeah. That makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah, that's split in two. See if you can get an angle down there.
Hold it still.
The little black ring is cracked in two pieces.
Ah, okay. There it is.
That would be our problem. Good, we're not doing this for nothing.
We've identified the failure point.
Diagnosis is the most important part of healing.
Okay. Now we just reverse that process.
Yeah. You know, based on your cross member here, it looks like someone's had the traction beams out of this thing before.
I believe we determined it had new bushings in it.
Yeah.
Which
Because those aren't original.
it'll be getting new bushings.
Is anything on this truck original?
The body.
And maybe the front axle.
That side of the front axle. Not this side.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So, yeah. That's right, because it decided
the pumpkin may be original.
when you clean it off, if it may have rebuilder's marks in there. Because it's got gasket maker on it.
I know.
Yeah.
If you've been curious why it looks like I've been cutting out a lot of work, it's because I have. After we got the transmission reinstalled, we took it on a test drive, and it became quickly obvious that the job was not done. The clutch was still slipping due to the friction material itself on the flywheel. I believe the slipping of the slave allowed it to overheat and was welded itself into the flywheel. So in the coming weeks, I ordered a new clutch, new flywheel, and got them installed myself, and the transmission pulled and reinstalled. Yeah, from there, was good for a little while, but I ran into other problems. So buckle in, this is going to be a kind of all over the place episode, spanning several months of work, just because the truck never really got viable and I stopped. So yeah, enjoy the ride.
All right, we are back at it again today. This weekend is when all the parts come: clutch, pressure plate, flywheel. So I am getting everything prepped for those to go in. Starting off, I have the transfer case that Forrest brought me soaking in degreaser. We threw it on the truck and determined that it's good, but I figured why have one greasy part bolted to a nice clean painted transmission. So I'm gonna fix that today, get this all cleaned up, painted, looking a little better, I brought the old one from the truck to eventually rebuild at some point, but we'll get to that. So yeah, I'm just getting things ready for all the parts to get here this weekend. Hopefully it's driving this weekend, because my birthday is this Wednesday coming up. Today is the Thursday before. So 6 days, and then on that Friday I am leaving to go down, celebrate it with some friends, and I'd really like to take my truck. So that will be my next goal for this vehicle, since it's disappointed me so far. I'm going to just make it a birthday thing now, and hopefully it can make the 250-ish mile one-way drive down there. And there's a mountain in the way, so have to climb that, see if the clutch is actually any good. If I had been recording this time last year, I did about the same thing, going to a music festival and burned through a clutch in about 500 miles. Was not my fault. Rock Auto sent me the wrong parts, and they worked enough, but it was enough of a problem that I destroyed a clutch in about 500 miles. But anyway, I'm going to not record too much of this, maybe a time lapse or two. But yeah, get this looking good, and then we can focus on welding up the exhaust the rest of the way. I just need to weld onto the flange that's already there, and then we can get that all finished up and get the clutch in and then transmission back in, and hopefully it's driving this week coming up. We shall see. Well, I probably should have seen this coming, but I created a bloodbath back here. But the case itself polished up really nice. I think I'm actually going to just leave it like this and not bother painting it. But yeah, I'm happy with this. Nothing on the truck is perfect, and this will be the epitome of that. Good morning. It is Sunday. All the parts are in. Clutch, flywheel, what have you. So let's get started. It's gonna take a while for me to do this myself. I don't even know if I'll be able to put the transmission in. This video might not get posted because I crushed my head. We shall see. Starting off, I don't remember if I showed this or not, but this is the old clutch and stuff that came out of it. After the last time I drove it, I didn't film anymore. I just kind of stripped everything apart. But this is the old clutch and flywheel. As you can see, not the best looking on the world. And I've determined since then that they were probably just the straight wrong parts for the 5, or these are from a 5 liter, and I put them on the 351. So I'll take the blame for that one. But we have here brand new flywheel, which looks a lot different than the one that was in it. It's probably, I don't know, ½ inch thicker, and certainly weighs about twice as much as the other one. So got this to put in, and then we have our brand new clutch kit, which looks all very fancy and heavy duty. Note the 9 more springs that this one has over the old one. And then under here we have our brand new pressure plate that looks like it's a lot more heavy duty as well. So we will slap all of this on today, if not the transmission itself, and hopefully make some progress. So I'm going to continue setting up until my camera woman gets here. She should be here any moment. And then we can get started. I'm fairly confident this is going to fix it, mostly because it looks so different. Oh, and look, there she is. Sandra?
Yes.
Do you think I'm gonna get it fixed?
Yeah. Yes, I have full confidence in Lars. Full confidence.
Alright, well, let's get started then.
There's Lars. He's doing shit. I don't know what he's doing. He's fixing
Slaving
things.
away, getting heavy ass shit over.
Yep. Anyways,
I don't know how I'm gonna lift this up. Put it on myself. It's gonna be fun. Okay.
he's got it, guys. I think. Maybe.
Now I need.
Do you think you got it, Lars? And he walked
I mean,
away.
I thought I've had it the past 3 times, and here we are.
Here we are.
I'm, like I said earlier, I'm fairly confident that it will work because it looks different. All right, now we can finally get started. If I can bench press this massive plate. Oh wait, I just realized I need to put the motor plate on first. That's gonna make this even more fun. Don't forget the motor plate. Okay. Okie dokie. I should probably get a bell housing bolt to help hold that in. Yeah. The doctor told me not to get sawdust in my eyes. Oh, there's my 15mm wrench. It's still under here.
Oh my god.
Okay. Wrong goddamn cup.
What to do now? So Lars just killed a whole colony of ants.
That were living under the motor plate, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the second genocide I've committed today, actually. There was a colony of ants living in the pop-up, too. I think I've got an ant in my eye.
Okay, back to content.
I don't know about that yet. Alright. Another genocide performed. God damn. This is going well already.
Mm-hmm.
That's a spider web. Hopefully there's no spiders on me now. God damn, man. This is just lovely. God damn you. Okay. Now that that's done and held in place, I can monkey this up. Still feel like something's crawling on me. And as I don't think I covered in the last episode, these Ford flywheels only bolt on one way. So I need to be able to see which bolt hole is offset to be able to get this upright. Which, spiders. Spiders. Oh, where do you go now? Oh god, the ants. Die, motherfuckers. This is great. I'm loving this. This is making me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Maybe it's the ant poison. And now I'm stuck under here with all these brake clean fumes. Which are rather strong, I might add. Okay. So, which bolt hole's offset? It's this one. Shit, I don't know if I can do this with the transmission here. This is heavy. Okay, so I had to use Sandra's hands to help thread the bolts and find the holes because I could only really lift it from here. There's not a lot of space. But we got it on the first try pretty much. That went surprisingly well. I could not do this alone. But yeah, they all thread in. So I'm going to coat them in blue thread lock because, oh, I'm bleeding. Coat them in blue thread lock because that's something I didn't do last time that I should have, because I forgot that these are pass-through bolts and they will seep oil if you don't. Good thing it didn't run long enough to do that. So I'm going to coat these all in blue thread lock, and then I'll come back when they're in and I'm torquing them down. Okay, so I have all of these Loctited, I think. Didn't really pay attention, probably should have, but they're in there now. So I'm going to, okay, torque wrench is set to 80 foot-pounds. The spec is 75 to 85, so I'm going smack dab in the middle. And we're gonna just hope that I brace this the right way, and can get this torque down. Okay, there's one, and then we're gonna go across from it. This leaves me so much room to work. I love this. If it's not running into the ground, it's running into the drive shaft. Uh-oh. Okay, 2, 3. Okay. Ow. If you can't tell, I cannot see this very well. That was 6, right?
Uh-huh.
Alright, so had to skip forward a little bit because I needed Sandra's hands again. But we have the clutch centered in here. The tool moves in and out freely. So I'm going to, oh, and we have all the bolts started. So I'm going to go around and crisscross, slowly tighten this down. You don't want to do it all the way at once. You want it all to sit evenly. So basically, get what you can, finger tight, and then move on to the next one. And then we're gonna torque this too, but it torques to, I have to check, but I think it's 25 to 35. But yeah, you don't want this to be torqued down unevenly. Basically, small little movements until it's all even and in place. Otherwise, you will have engagement issues if it is not. Oh, are we just spinning? Oh, that one's just spinning. That's lovely. And this is what happens when it's not done right. It doesn't want to engage. That's lovely. So yeah, this is what happens when you don't tighten it down evenly and get everything started like I thought I did. Okay, all the bolts are torqued. I had to run back out and get new crush washers because I had reused those like 4 times and they were starting to deform. So brand new washers, everything is torqued as it should be. The clutch tool still moves in and out evenly, so we know I did that right. So yeah, that's done now. Next step is try and wrangle this monstrosity back in myself. Let's get started, I guess. Well, you saw what a struggle it was for two people, so you can imagine what I went through to do this myself, but it is in. All the bolts are tight, and I have the mount underneath it now. Getting all the bolts started, and then I think I'm gonna take a break. But new clutch is back in, transmission's in, and now I can start throwing the driveline back together. Okay, I have the entire driveline back reinstalled, and as well as the whole interior. So without further ado, I suppose there's nothing left to do but see if all these efforts were worth it. I'm gonna just do the same up and down the street I did before, and hope that I don't need to be towed back up. It's a big ass spider web that's grown right there. That's gross. And it's stuck to my hand. Starts up well at least. Something's still not right. It only wants to accelerate at very minimal throttle, but it's better. It's still slipping a shit ton. I don't know what the fuck's wrong. It's better, but I'm gonna fry this clutch if I continue doing that. Okay, flash forward to the next day. I parked it after I took it on my test drive yesterday, and did a little conference call with Forrest to see if we could troubleshoot what issues I was having. And I narrowed it down to possibly the throttle body / throttle position sensor. So, and I've already tried to see if I could get this throttle position sensor out, and the screws started to strip, so I'm not looking to pursue that at the moment. I need to figure something out here. Possibly getting a new port into there, but this throttle position sensor doesn't look the best either. It's rather oily. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do here. Okay, next day again. I threw the other sensor on to the good throttle body yesterday, and this happened. Basically, I think it was in flood out mode, and the sensor was reading that it was mashed down all the time and therefore wouldn't start, because as soon as I unplugged the sensor and tried to start it, it came right to life. So I'm going to just diagnose that as a bad sensor. So I went out and bought a new one today from Napa. It was 68 bucks, I think. And then got myself a multimeter and slap this one on. As you can see, new sensors in place. You want to back probe the green wire on this and technically the black wire, but I couldn't get, I pulled the weather proofing out and used that. I couldn't get a good connection back there, so I did the green wire to battery negative, and you're supposed to have somewhere between 0.9 and 1 volt. I was at 0.93, and I'm going to, they say you're supposed to have about 0.95. I'm going to chalk it up to the extra distance it had to travel for that missing 10th or 100th of a volt. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to throw this back on and see where we are at. Okay, I got all that thrown back together, so moment of truth. Will this thing even start? Alrighty, let's see here. Better than it did yesterday. I love the oil pressure it's making. Okay, time for a test drive. See if that was the fix to my problem. Dude, that was it. I'm calling it right now. That throttle response is so much smoother. Plenty of acceleration now. Oh my god. I can even accelerate in a higher gear. Something's up. Maybe I spoke too soon. No, fuck, what is it? It was fine at first. No check engine light or anything, but it felt like as I would get on it and it would just start free revving again. maybe I need to bleed the clutch. Going downhill, it felt fine. I had plenty of acceleration. This is really weird. Alright, well, I've gotten one too many questioning looks from my neighbors, so it's time to weld some exhaust on this thing. Got my buzz box out, and we're gonna first clean up these little fittings so I can get them attached well enough, and then I can show you the entire exhaust setup we have. Probably won't make it perfect, still doesn't have a catalytic converter, but to continue testing, I feel like it's a necessity before I get a lynch mob out here after me for waking up small children from their naps, scaring off small animals, you know, the usual. Alright, so the plan is to weld both of these, I've got two of them, into the slots here, and then I can exhaust clamp the pipe into there, so it should be an easy removal when it's time. And they should reach all the way back to these hangers where I can use those to help support it. No, it won't be technically legal, but we don't worry about that. So without further ado, I guess let's begin, and I'll come back when I have these welded on at least. So I have to cover that up now. Shouldn't be too bad, and I know what to look for now. So let me get my proper wire brush out. It's not gonna go anywhere. It ain't pretty, but it ain't gonna go anywhere. And that's all I care about. Okay, both of them are on. Again, I'm not gonna say it's pretty, because it ain't, but it'll hold. It's not gonna fall off like I have had other exhaust components fall off. Anyway, time to stick the main part of it on and get that all hooked up and see where we're at with that. Alright, after much fiddling later, we have the finished exhaust system. This one is fully hung and welded to the other one via rebar. Let's see how it sounds. PSA, I've already started and moved it, and it sounds a lot better, but I'll do it for you guys. This is the new 351 sound. I think it sounds mean. Alright, it's been a little while again. I took it on a drive with the O2 sensor unplugged, and that seemed to help the stumbling and stuff, and the computer on its base map without the O2 sensor giving it information was able to make it run up and down the road. But then it started getting worse and missing again and feeling like it was running lean. So I'm wondering if I didn't get the intake fully seated and it's leaking somewhere. Because it's only under partial load, but that was getting worse. So I have a new proper O2 sensor on the way, and I'm going today to pull the upper intake again and then retorque all of the lower intake bolts to see if maybe that was my issue and there was leaking in from the side somewhere, because looking back in my footage, I only torqued them the once, and you're supposed to walk these down. So I'm gonna just hop on in here and rip the whole upper intake off of it, which, as if you saw it the last episode, you saw what a joy it is to get them on. So without further ado, I'm just gonna jump right into this. All right, fast forward a little bit. I have the intake off. As you can see, the gasket's a little wet in the corners, and I'm not quite sure why that is. But I'm going to ignore that for now, because these intake bolts are turning quite a bit before I hear the click, so that means that they're loose. Hopefully this solves some of my problem, but I'm gonna just torque all of these back down, see how much rotation I get out of each one. But that certainly was a problem, if not the problem. Been another couple weeks. I've been experimenting with it in my free time, 1 or 2 things a day, checking to see if that's been the cause of my problems. And I've worked my way down to a new fuel filter now. So I grabbed that and some gas treatment, and we're going to throw that in and take it for another test drive and see if anything changed. I really wish I had some live data to feed and read off of, because this has just gotten ridiculous, having to just open the parts cannon at it. But I'm gonna go in and get changed, and then we'll be out to experiment. Let's let her get a good old drink of this stuff. It's supposedly good for 28 gallons, so I won't put all of it in there because I'm about at half a tank. But let's do a little bit more. Save the rest for later, or put it in the front tank. I've never used this stuff before. Guess we'll see what it does, but it was fairly cheap at O'Reilly's. So that's what I found in my pocket this morning. That one has a spring clamp on it. This other one does not. So it ended up being something incredibly simple. I'm ashamed to even admit it, but I timed it wrong. The distributor. It was at 0 degrees, right at top dead center. So that's why it couldn't haul itself up a hill. Of course, it coughs as soon as I do that. But I took it on a test drive, a couple miles, and it coughed like that a couple times. But I think that's just the computer figuring itself out, because it only does it once. But I was able to accelerate through all the gears and all that good stuff.
Oof.
Didn't do that the first time.
What gear was that?
That was 4th.
Okay, so it doesn't want to do it in 4th gear,
I
huh?
want to do that. Probably just not from that low.
Well, that was down to what, 20 miles an hour or less?
Yeah. But you see, we're doing about 40 right now, and I never really showed videos of the test drive before, but it wouldn't let me accelerate past like 3rd gear. So, oof.
It's a little rough.
That's the coughing I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it only does it here and there.
Is the timing set and not traveling? It's not being rattled off. It's off of your 10 degrees.
I can check it again when I get back, but I actually set it at 12.
Is there that an advantage?
A little peppier, nothing fancy. wasn't able to hardly turn around here before. It was everything I could do to get it to move. But now
Sounds really good.
it does. It has its classic ZF5 noise because it's just a big, heavy, clunky transmission. So it makes some noise, but all my gauges are working. Everything seems to be working as it should. I'm running about 45, 50 pounds of oil pressure while on the throttle.
Is that was in spec?
Oh yeah, that's amazing. I'd accept 30. About 190 without, well, the fans are on, but about 190 average. On the thermostat, and then around about 13 volts. So everything seems to be charging as it should. Like I said, no check engine lights, and I wouldn't have been able to do any of this before. It would hardly climb up the hill in second gear, and I did it earlier in fourth. So
It feels pretty smooth.
yeah, now that we're on some actual decent road, it's not shaking us all to death. It's really not bad, even with the F-150 suspension. This is just cruising along in fourth gear. Still need to reprogram the dash cluster to read the proper mileage. I never did that after I swapped the Sterling into it. Yeah, we are moving like a vehicle should.
It is a functioning work vehicle, again, capable of going places and doing tasks.
Pretty much. I can finally take my trash out of my unit.
Yeah. You can clean out the back of all the parts that you've been sitting on.
Yeah.
And the oil spill you did?
Yeah. I may have had an environmental hazard this morning involving a 15W40, but we're not going to worry about that.
Nothing a trip to the car wash can't handle.
Yeah, it's already full of kitty litter, which is probably spilling out all behind us as we drive. But here we are cruising in fifth gear, and
Sure.
not a road to be riding your bike on.
No.
Especially not right
Can't
here.
pass on a bike. That's okay. At least he's being courteous. Thank you, guy.
We're turning right here anyway. Oof. I don't get what that is. It does that every so often.
There's a little hesitation. Not too bad, though.
It's only at a certain throttle level I'm noticing. I'm wondering, I already replaced the throttle position sensor, but you'll note that we're accelerating in fourth gear, which it wasn't doing before, and then into fifth.
And taking us up the hill.
Yeah. It is hesitating a bit in fifth.
I feel it bogging a little
I'm
in
wondering
fifth.
if the timing is slipping.
That's what I think, is the timing is slipping and that you're going to have to check it when we get back.
Yeah, I will.
Ooh, watch out for the Mennonites.
This is encouraging at least.
Well, this is 100% improvement over what it was yesterday.
Yeah, so just for reference, today is October 26th, I believe. The engine was in July.
July.
Yeah. So, this is the first time I got it out once before, and it ran terrible. This is the first time that I have had this out like this, so it is really encouraging to see how far we've come. Finally. 7 months of being down. Yeah, the timing's definitely slipping, I think.
Yeah, I can feel it in the vibration under my seat.
I cinched it down pretty tight. I'll look at it again.
All in all, though, it feels pretty good. That was a major step forward.
It was indeed.
After all of the teeny tiny little minutia of things you've been trying to fix every single day.
Yeah, it's been like every day after work I'll come try something else. I was just about to drop the gas tank to test the voltage there to see if I was getting voltage drop with something. But I had to go to my unit this morning and I saw my timing light just sitting there and I was like, you know what, I'll check it again. And I'm glad I did.
Well, you had eliminated almost everything else.
Yeah.
It's kind of like riding in a Mennonite buggy. It's bouncy.
Yeah, I don't have any shocks. I mean, the shocks are there, but they're there for emotional support. That's about it.
Are they emotional support shocks? Are you going to get heavy duty shocks for this vehicle?
Yes, in fact, that's going to be one of the future upgrades that we'll cover on the channel here. Is I have a set of quad shock front arms that we're going to swap on and make this 8-lug in the front as well. But I needed it driving first so I can transport parts around. Because
Well, today is a victory.
today is.
It is a fine October day to have a running vehicle.
It is a little nippy out, and I'll be taking this to work later. It's finally to a point where I deem it safe to go on the road. And I noticed the driveline vibration is a lot less than it was too. So you feel it only does it once. It coughs
Yeah.
and then it's fine.
Yeah, it's pulling itself up the hill without any of the drama.
Yeah. Before I would be in second gear, barely accelerating, and now I'm in fourth, and it's still pulling.
It's a little choppy right there.
a little choppy, but it's actually accelerating in fourth gear.
Yeah, I can feel it trying to hesitate.
Okay, we are back. It's been another several weeks since that last successful test drive. I've been pretty much daily driving this thing. Not well. I'm still having an issue. It's timed correctly now, 12 degrees. I verified that with 2 different timing lights. Has plenty of fuel pressure. But after about 5 minutes of driving, all power goes away and it's just basically light throttle driving. It's been enough to get around town, but acceleration is a real problem. So, I picked up a brand new distributor from AutoZone today, and we're going to slap that in and see if that makes a change at all. And because I can hear the timing changing in the exhaust note as I drive it. So that leads me to believe it's either that or the ignition controller. I have another one of those too, and if this doesn't fix it, we're going to go straight over and slap that on. But for now, the distributor was the only thing that wasn't on the truck when it was running before, so it's questionable. Without further ado, I am going to rotate this over so it's pointing at number 1, so I can just go and drop the new distributor in the same place, and hopefully we don't have to mess around with pulling spark plugs and all that. So I know where number 1 is, and I know I have a mark on the balancer, so I'm just going to get straight to it. All right, have it at 0 on the balancer, and the rotor is pointing at number 1 on the spark plug cap. So we're just going to slide this unit out and then slide the new one in. All right, now that everything is timed the way it should, we're going to strip this out of here, strip everything out of here, and then hopefully it should just be an easy 1-2 to get it back to where it needs to be. Okay. Pulling the hold down. Alright, so then we're going to note just what orientation this is in. So it is, the front face here is pretty much parallel with the front of the truck, and the rotor is pointing back at this back latch. So we're going to take our new distributor, turn the rotor to meet that back latch, and then insert it pretty much like this so it will land about the same spot. Okay. We're also going to note which way the rotor turns when we pull it out. So the whole thing rotates in that way. So that means we're going to put it in pretty much with it facing that back bolt right there. So should be just pop this out, pop this one in like one too many. So we're gonna, nope. Easier said than done, right? There we go. That's more like it. Let's see. I have the MSD cap that does not have that many miles, or the MSD rotor that does not have that. Alrighty, have the timing light hooked up. Spout connector is disconnected, sitting right here. Let us see what happens. See there, we are in time. That plus symbol is 12 degrees. So sitting right there, nice and steady it seems. So I'm going to just verify that and then tighten her down. Alrighty, we are verified, so let's sneak my hand in here and cinch this bolt down. Not too tight now. Try not to have your hand taken off by the belt while you're at it. Alrighty. So now we can come back in here, shut this off, count to 5 while we come and reinstall the spout connector. I need a cameraman, so reinstall this puppy in here. Right. Then I didn't have many videos of it running before from the outside, but I can tell it's running smoother now than it was. I think timing was a serious issue. Still sounds like it's missing maybe slightly, but it definitely sounds smoother now. Let's look at timing real quick. And yeah, we're advancing. Can I get this to focus? Yeah, we seem to be advancing nicely. Sitting pretty even. Hesitate slightly, but we will see how it goes on a drive. Alright, fast forward about 3 hours. Distributor did not fix it. Made it slightly better, more consistent, and the misses hit harder now. So that didn't fix it. I came to my storage unit, that's where I'm at right now, and I just threw a new ignition control module on it from Forrest's F-150, so we know it's confirmed good. I started the truck just to make sure it did, and then I'm about to drive home and see if that solved it. I have my doubts, considering it normally ignition control module is no start, but it's something timing related, the way it just cuts out like it does. So out of desperation, I chuck this at it. If it's not this, I'm gonna start suspecting the PCM, because I'm running out of ideas. All right, so skipping ahead yet again, out of pure desperation, I've replaced wires, plugs, distributor, coil. I've got fine fuel pressure. Everything is fine except for this. We have yet to determine if this is actually good. So these EEC4 capacitors, which came in the 90s, 80s, and 90s trucks, are known for 3 capacitors going bad, specifically in them. I haven't opened this one up yet, but one of the symptoms of a bad capacitor is a odd misfire down low, apparently. So we're gonna open this thing up and see what awaits us, but just wanted to note the mud daubers living in the side of it that I did not see when I installed it originally. So without further ado, let's break inside this thing. Okay. Alrighty. So here is the board itself. This capacitor right here and this one right here are the ones that go bad. I'm not seeing any evidence of it. No, there's no smoking gun. I'm not seeing any frying or anything, or fuzziness or meltiness. Overall, except for whatever's going on up in there with that crispy thing. Other than that, the board looks pretty good overall. I'm going to spend a little bit more time looking at it in detail, but I was expecting to see a smoking gun here. Alright, well, here is the puddle underneath the bell housing. You can see we have coolant right there. It is coming from, let's see, coming from up the block in there. Let's see, focus. We've got oil on that bolt there. We have oil up on the bottom of the header there and there. Hyper focus. And then we have more oil leaks on this side. But the coolant seems to be coming down inside the transmission from what it looks like, and maybe seeping down the side here, but oh no, there's some right there on the back of the block too. Isn't this lovely?